Hi, I'm Jim Knotts, President and CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Welcome to today's virtual reading of the names. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As part of our commemoration, we'll host an in-person reading of the names at the wall from November 7th through 10th, 2022, when all 58,281 names on the wall will be read aloud. In the lead up to that event, we'll be reading names each day online while sharing the photos of these heroes. For our daily virtual reading, the names of the service members will be read by month and day of death between the years 1956 and 1975 in alphabetical order for the given day. We apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Know that our readers are doing their best to honor these service members. We hope you'll listen and watch each day and share with others as we remember and honor those who gave their lives during the Vietnam War.
Danny Wade Alday, Jack Amos Baker, Glendon Roman Barnett, Charles Sylvester Baranek, Joseph R. L. Blair, Ronald Wayne Blevins, Ronald Joseph Bonnert, Peter Joseph Brancato Jr., Barry Joe Bridges, Leonard Lee Bronicky, Charles Allen Brooks, Bobby Ray Brown, Richard Gordon Brown, Richard Allen Cable, Richard Thomas Christie, Christopher Elliott Clay, Cecil Roger Clayton, Franklin Thomas Kreitz, Francis John Davis, Johnny F. Davis, Donald Jean Denny, Dennis Michael Dickey, Michael James Dodge, Johnny Lamar Douglas, Joseph David Dwelk Jr., William George Duchess, Jasper Ellison Jr., John Warren Emmons Jr., Stanley Oliver Everett, Richard Harold Ferguson, Larvon Floyd, Joseph Herman Forey, Wayne Arthur Garber, Jeffrey Lee Gain, Frank A. Giacobello Jr., Paul Stephen Goke Jr., Douglas David Gonzalez, James William Grace, Paul Michael Haslinger, Jesse Virginius Hawk III, James Linwood Hawthorne, Robert Lowe Holland, Cuthbert Hertault, Ricky Jerome Jacobs, Charles Buford Johnson Jr., Harold Collar, Robert Joseph Kazmierczak, John James Kedenberg, Louis James Kelly, Stuart Otis Kiefer, Gerald Edward Corson, Paul Henderson Lawing Jr., Michael James Lillo, Frederick James Lechak, Earl Roy Lester Jr., Gary William Link, Harold Spencer Lockwood, Jerome Dean Lubino, Royal Charles Mank, Darrell Wayne Maynard, David Vance McLeod Jr., Francis Elmore Metter, Murillo Mendez, Armando Alvarez Minor,
Manuel Miranda, Malcolm Everett Mitchell, Jimmy Carlos Montana, Jose Albino Montoya, Michael Eugene Moorhead, Rex Dewey Morlock Jr., Craig Stanley Muhitch, Doyle Wayne Overton, Ronald Matthew Padilla, George Edward Perry, David Gray Prentice, Anthony Aloysius Price, James Edward Pulley, Gary Wayne Ragsdale, Lynn Murray Randall, Kim Raupak, Robert Lawrence Roderick, Robert Rogers Roush, Gilbert Allen Rovito, James Everett Sawyer Jr., Jeffrey David Schumacher, Joseph Earl Sheeran, David Thomas Sitton, Harvey Newton Slaughter, Harlan Ray Slusser, Kenneth Douglas Smith, Robert Michael Snell, Robert Fenton Steimer, Robert Eugene Thompson, John Chillicott Tobias, Robert Bruce Tufts, Jeff Harold Upp, Ruben Ordieles, Joseph Herman Ehrman, John R. Van Norman III, Harold Raymond Vogel, Richard Dwayne Walker, William Thomas Walsh, Jr., Herbert Alvin Warner, Jr., Ronald Vernon Wearmouth, Robert Richard White, Johnny Wiles, Dale Edward Williams, Robert DeLun Wood, James Leonard Wood, Bobby Jean Wooten, David Allen Worrell, John Wesley Wright, Michael Lee Wright,